Assalamualaikum. We are from SAM's Consultant. We'll do a presentation entitled Civil and Structural Report. This project name cadangan untuk mendirikan 41 unit rumah teres 3 tingkat jenis R3EA plot 70 until 7060 lot 12025 mungkin 12 DBT di Persiaran Kelicak Pulau Pinang is housing building project development. The completed project components will be maintained by the Setia Promenade for the period of 3 years after the completed date. SAM's consultant Sedia Berhad has been appointed by the Setia Promenade as the civil engineering consultant to carry out infrastructure design for the project. The size of the project is 4 acres that consists of 3 stories terrace house. Our group member consists of me, Nur Syamimi binti Azhar, as Managing Director.
Me, Siti Maisar binti Halim, as Structural Head Department.
I am Nurul Ashiki binti Muhammad Ibrahim, as the Head of Geotechnical Department.
I am Amira Izzati binti Visal, as the Head of Sewerage Department.
I'm Nurul An binti Salmi, as the Head of Water Supply Department.
For the project description, this project is in Persiaran Kelicak, which is one of the 12 mukim in Sungai Ara district. This area is known as a rural area. This housing building is 4 acres, which consists of rumah teres 3 tingkat, 1 pencawang elektrik, 1 rumah sampah, and 1 rumah pump. Infrastructure such as an internal sanitary system, a sewerage treatment plant, a water supply system, and a road and drainage system are also included in the development of this project. As previously stated, a wastewater treatment plant produces treated wastewater that is safe to discharge into the environment. Aside from that, all drainage and soil drain discharge will be released into the existing drain, which will flow towards Sungai Dondang as the final discharge.
Next, we move to the project scheduling. The project starts on Wednesday, 3rd February 2021 and ends on January 1, 2026. Below attached the project CPM. This project is planned to be finished in 4 years, just for 4 months for 1 unit of 3-story semi-detached house type 3EA. And all the activity is estimated to on-site average day to complete the task. Next. Moving on to the structure. This is the design specification for the structure design. Characteristic of compressive strength FCK, which is 30, and characteristic of yield strength FYK 460 N per millimeter square. Design life for 50 years. Exposure class XC3. Structure class S4. And for the fire resistant R60. Fire resistant R60. And unit weight of concrete, which is 25 kilonewton per meter cube. And for the soil bearing capacity, 100 kilonewton per meter square. Next. This is the architecture drawing, which is key plan on the site. This drawing consists of the front elevation, right elevation, and also left elevation, and section XX, and also section YY. And we also have 3D layout from the esteemed result. Starting from ground floor until roof floor. And next we will see the 3D view for our building structure. Move to the structure using the Eurocode basic of structure design. We also have action on structure and Eurocode design of concrete structure. And also Uniform Building by Law 1984. And next we move to the slab, which is FS3 for our manual calculations. This is all the parameter from manual and esteem calculation, and also percentage difference. For slab, we have used a sample simply supported slab, which is FS3 from ground floor, and slab size, which is 2,100 times by 2,825 mm, and load involved, which is self-weight of slab, finishes, water tank, and also variable action. Reinforcement bar for this slab is which is H7 200 for manual calculation and H10 250 from the esteem result. Next, for the beam, we have sample of continuous beam, which is GB5. And span for the beam is 5,875 millimeter. Beam size is 250 times by 350. And load involved for this structure calculation is self-weight of beam, self-weight of brick wall, and also self-load transfer. Reinforcement bar from the manual calculation, which is 2H12, and from the esteem result 2H16, which is difference. Next, we move to the beam SFD and also BMD diagram. And we also have the detailing for the GB5 beam, which is 250 times by 350. Next parameter we have for the columns, which is 2J/B, which is C15. For the manual calculation and esteem calculation, we have different. For the manual, we have 6H16, and from the esteem, we got 4T12, which is a big difference. Next, we have footing. From the manual calculation, we get the value 134.34 kilonewton, and with another value from esteem 182.9 kilonewton, which is slightly different, 15.31%. Next, this is the detailing from the footing, which is P8. And lastly, we have a staircase detailing.
I will present about the earthwork design. Okay. Engineering process that include the processing of large amount of soil or unformed rock on Earth's surface. The original ground contour is complicated as the highest level of the ground that we get from the calculation is 62.76 meter, while the lowest level is 36.7 meter. The difference between them is 26.06 meter. The objective of this project are to propose a suitable platform level by considering the safety, sustainability, and socio-economy. The second one is to plan the method of calculation for cut and fill estimation and the slope stability. And the last one is to maximize the efficiency of cost, time, and labor during the construction. Proposed level. The proposed level should be done based on the existing topography of the site area. The proposed level for each zone was determined by the highest and lowest point of particular zone, and generally the formation level is the average reduced level of this particular point in order to balance the cut and fill that can minimize the import of soil material and in turn reduce the overall cost of construction. Method cut and fill that used is grid line method calculation. The total volume cut is 23,8 894.4 meter cube. The total volume filled is 19,337 meter cube. The difference cut and fill that we get is 19.07%. Hence, only 19.07% the different percentage between cut and fill volume to cover up the earthwork activities. Since the volume of cut is 23,894.4 meter cube, which is more than the volume of fill. The excessive volume of soil is 4,557.4 meter cube. Therefore, site does not require to import extra soil into the site. Grid method, the size of grid is 20 meter times 20 meter. Erosion and sediment control plan. The nearest station is Kolam Takungan Air Hitam. The soil type is sandy loam. The type of land use is residential, link and terrace house. The type of runoff is moderate to high. Wet sediment basin. The required surface area is 788.8 meters squared. The required total basin volume is 946.7 meter cube. Overall basin dimension.
Satu kemungkinan yang saya lihat.
The top width is 15.4 meter. The top length is 42.4 meter. The bottom width is 9.0 meter. Setting zone depth is 0.6 meter. The sediment storage zone depth is 0.9 meter. For the side slope, we get a ratio of 2:1. Washing bay design. Installation. First, clear the location. Place and compact a 150 mm thick layer of minimum 50 mm rock over the roadway between the wash bay and the seal street. Wash bay must be located near the sedimentation basin. For the maintenance, inspect the wash bay during rainfall daily. When the layer of rock is not longer keeping the wash bay, place another 100 mm rock layer must be added.
Next, we move to the road and drainage. For the road design standard and specification and guidelines, Pindaan 2013 issued by Jabatan Kerja Raya JKR, there are few guidelines that has been used for the road design as below. First is manual on traffic control device, standard traffic application. Second is manual on traffic control device, standard traffic sign. Third is guide sign design and application. Lastly is California Bearing Ratio CBR report test. For the road design, the terrain type is flat. Road type is one lane in one direction. Carriage width is 5 meters and annual growth rate is 5%. For the design procedure, the first step is to list down the pavement design, and then we calculate the design traffic. That we get the result is a 0.0055 million. Beside that, we need to calculate the design traffic, which cover 20 years. And then the result show the traffic category is in P1. For the pavement structure, we need to list down based on this table and then calculate the volume of daily traffic after 10 years. The result show that 50 vehicles per day and per lane. For the 1 hour hourly capacity, show the result is 640 vehicles per day and per lane. For the 20 hours one-way traffic capacity, show the result is 6,400 vehicles per day per lane. For the conclusion, 6,400 is more than 50, which is the capacity has not been reached after the 10 years. For the drainage standard and specification, the following is the goal. Firstly is we need to create to create an effective drainage system to address the flooding issue. Second is to reduce surface runoff of the carriageway. There are a few requirements and standards that are utilized and approved in this drainage design guideline. First is guideline from the Urban Stormwater Management, MASMA. Second is from the Wallis Infra. Third is the Manning formula. The specification used maximum surface slope is 1/300, and then the Manning roughness for the concrete roughness is 0.018. This is the sample calculation from the Wallis Infra software. Same goes to this one. This one also the hydraulic calculation for the drainage system.
So, sewerage design. The project brief. As a civil engineer consultant, SAM's consultant has been hired to develop the infrastructure for this project, which is cadangan untuk mendirikan 41 unit rumah teres 3 tingkat di atas sebahagian lot 12025 Mukim 12 daerah Barat Daya di atas persiaran Kelicap Pulau Pinang. Including the sewage system. So as a result, the design of the development's proposed exterior sewage system will be presented in this report. The goal of this project is to design the facilities for the residential areas at the Persiaran Kelicap in Penang, which it includes the structure, road and drainage, water reticulation, and sewerage. So the objectives of this project are to present a comprehensive design concept for the development sewage system. Next is to identify and analyze that the design of the proposed design and the design considerations that were made during the design process is suitable for the development, which it also will be as reference to the design outline and method as for the guideline and parameters which been used in the design process. Lastly is to obtain approval for the anticipated sewerage improvement, which is the full design must be submitted to the Indah Water Consortium, IWK, together with the drawings and the report. Next. So these are the standard guidelines for the sewerage design. There are 3 parties that are involved, which are SPAN, Suruhanjaya Perkhidmatan Air Malaysia, IWK, Indah Water Consortium Sedia Berhad, and Code of Practice for Developer on the Design of Installation Sewerage Design System. Next. This is the design specifications. Firstly, the design is according to the amount of sewerage discharge per person. As for the material that been used is vitrified clay pipe, VCP. The diameter pipe is 225 millimeter. As for the gradients of slope is 1/50, 1/100, and 1/195. Next. This is the sewerage system layout. As we can see, the manhole is covered 3 to 6 houses, which lastly it is flow to the sewerage treatment plant, STP, which the sewerage treatment plant is located at the lowest platform inside the site boundary. STP would receive the produced discharge or sewage after being channeled away from the buildings via a network of pipelines. Next. This is the design calculations, which is the design parameters. As for the depth of the manhole, the minimum depth is 1.2 meter. And for the design equation, the type of equation that been used is Manning equation. The type of sewer pipe is BCP. As for the adopt coefficient pipe is 0.01, which is good condition. Next. This is the population equivalent. The population equivalent that we got is 205, while for the adopted PE for STP is 300, which need to be more than the total PE. Next. This is the sample calculation. The table shows that the data and the results that we got from the Wali software. Next. This is the sample calculation for the sewerage design from the Wali software. Okay.
Okay, so now I will explain to you about water reticulation. Next. Okay, the purpose for this report is to explain in detail to Perbadanan Bekalan Air Pulau Pinang the consultant design concept, daily water demand and capacity of water tank, and hydraulic piping calculation of water reticulation system. And the second one is to seeking approval when the submission with the customer's design concept with the detailed drawings. The source of water that will be used for this project will be tapped from existing Perbadanan Bekalan Air Pulau Pinang reticulation main pipe. The design guideline for this water reticulation system is Malaysian Water Association, which is edition 1994. Design criteria and standard for water supply system by Water Supplies Branch, Public Work Departments, and the last one is PINE, Uniform Technical Guidelines Water Reticulation and Plumbing. The design method for this calculation is Hazen-William method and Wally software. Next. And this is the calculation of water demand for this project is the type of building that we construct is residential house. The rate per gallon per day is RM54.90. The count for this the quantity for houses is 41 houses. The total consumptions liter per day is RM8,534.55. And the total after we added 10% losses is RM9,388.01. And this detailing for the water reticulation system for this project. And this is the detailing for the pipe that we use for this project. And this is detailing for valve that we use for this project. Next. And now for project costing. For project costing, the reference that we use is Schedule of Rates SOR by Jabatan Kerja Raya 2018. And for structure element, the bill of quantity is for slab. The amount is 23,980 and RM23,908.47. And for the beam is RM30,321.96. And for column is RM13,719.62. And for foundation is RM7,127.64. And for the staircase is RM2,105. And the total of general for one unit is RM77,182.69 for structural element. And for all for the section is for structure is RM77,182.69. For earthwork element is RM457,478.74. And for road and drainage is RM534,510.57. And for sewerage is RM105,480.45. And water reticulation is RM75,409.44. And the total of general summary is RM1,250,059.85.
Consultant Sendirian Berhad has proposed the structure and infrastructure design in the state of project site with overall cost estimate to be 51 million and planning to execute the project for 4 years. So that's all from us. Thank you.